Another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. For you, Market Marauders investment channel helps you find the best deals in the market. Hope everybody is having a great week this week. Been a lot of crazy moves going on overall. Gonna be talking about some of them uh, in this video. Hope everybody's able to lock in some profits. Still earnings week, so there are still earnings going on this week. So if you are able to lock in some profits on there, just make sure you hit that thumbs up or drop a comment down below. Tell me how much you were able to make on that. If so, you were able to make some profits. I know a couple of them kind of spiked up. But overall, still a good week. Now, next week, I think there will be even more earnings, so I'll try to post some of the stuff about that. Will definitely affect the watch list as well. But without further ado, let's jump into it. First one on here, we have ticker sign VERU. Now, I did have a call for this one for $25 in strike price. So the $25 strike price, um, is the price that I was predicting that it'd possibly be. It jumped up. I forget which day this was on. Um, yeah, what's up, Julian the Owl? So it went up to 24.57 on the ninth. So it did go up pretty high, but then ended the day at 1883. Then after hours went to 1852, so that's kind of where it's at. It's still bullish though. Moving average 10 above 50 and 100. VWAP is still below moving average 10, so overall not too bad on that metric. So definitely going to be looking at this one. So hopefully it can turn around. The VWAP though is kind of dis, heartening. I would like to see the VWAP be a lot higher than that, but that's kind of how the stock is. So next we got Twitter, ticker sign TWTR, which has been on a pretty bullish run up. And I had that one at a $70 strike price. So it's almost reached that $70 strike price. It's just continued to go up. So hopefully you all were able to jump in on that option when it was posted and lock in some of those profits from that one. This one definitely is getting closer to that strike price. Now shot up to 69.20, ended today at 68.56, and then ended at 68.75. We can see it is still bullish. Moving average 10 is above 50 and 100. Bear in mind this is from the 30-minute chart. So from the 30-minute chart on Webull. So if you have Webull, you don't have to sign up to actually use their charts. So that's one of the good things about Webull. The indicators that I'm using are moving average 10, moving average 50, moving average 100, and VWAP. If you like to find VWAP, it'll be in this indicator thing right here. You just click on it, and then VWAP is what I clicked on. I just changed the color to green. So if you've never seen the chart before, those are the indicators that I use, and I use a 30-minute interval for the chart indicator. So that's the time frame that I like to use. There are other ones you could use. You could use 2 minute, 1 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, a day, week, a month, a quarter. But these are the ones that I like to use. So just bear that in mind. If you're setting up your chart, it may look a little different than mine because it may be a different time interval or a different moving average, or not using VWAP as an indicator. But overall, Twitter is still bullish, like I said before, and VWAP is above moving average 10, or right at moving average 10. I think it still is above it. Yeah, it's above it at 68.02, and I think the moving average 10 is at 67.89. So both indicators positive. It is bullish on this one, so hopefully it'll continue ending on a positive note. 19 cents above its close, to that 68.75. So that's a good indicator as well. Hopefully it'll get to that $70 strike price. But if you're doing options, it doesn't have to exactly get to that price in order to make profit on that option. Next, we have ticker sign GSAT, which I thought was going to go higher, but it did touch 298 this week. It's kind of gone down since then, gone sideways. Going to be looking to see if VWAP can jump back up. It's kind of been stagnant for the rest of the week. Moving average 10 is still above 50 and 100. VWAP is still above moving average 10, but overall still bullish on this indicator. But VWAP seems to be going sideways. So with VWAP on this sideways momentum, not really going to be expecting too much moving upward from them. Next, we have ticker sign NVCN. Now, I did have someone ask me in the comments on the Patreon about this. I do I think this could potentially hit 350. So that's kind of like the target price that I'm looking for this one. VWAP will definitely have to go back up above this though. There's a little bit momentum of it. Ended at 314 today, so went 12 cents above its close. It will have to test this $2.60 level though, but overall I think it's still bullish in general. I'm going to be looking to see the press releases though to see some more news come out from the company. Now, if they have another, news article that comes out, it may be able to spike back up. That's what this original spike at 260 was. But I think if there's more news and positive news, then it definitely will hit that 350. But if not, it could potentially run sideways at its current level. So. If there is no news, then I'll expect it to be around this 219 level to this or to this 161 level and basically oscillate between the two. But if it does have news, then it will have to test this 260 level. Next, we have ticker sign VYNE, which is from the watch list as well. It did touch $3.29, but has become bearish. Since then, it has fallen below. So both indicators, or one indicator is negative. So moving average 10 is below 50 and 100. So a bearish pattern has developed. VWAP is still above moving average 10, but if you look at the chart overall, it seems to just continue to drop off. Ended on a negative note today, 2 cents below its close. So it ended at 264. So I think it's still going to continue its bearish pattern downward. Next, we have ticker sign HEXO, which is bearish as well. It's fallen down from $11.04 to end at 7.76. Did have a 5-cent rally after hours to end at 7.81, but overall still bearish on this one as well. Not really going to be looking for too much coming from this one. Thought it was going to continue its run because VWAP was sideways, but seemed to have fallen off during that time period. So going to be looking at this one as a bearish play, but hopefully it'll turn back around, but not really expecting too much from it. Next, we have ticker sign UAVS. They had a week high of $17.68. Ended the day at 14.35. Then went down 5 cents. Then at 14.30. They are still bullish, but barely. Moving average 10 is above 50 and 100. VWAP is still above moving average 10. So both the my indicators are positive. Going to be looking for some more articles coming out from them. I do know they're doing some development of some of their drones, but going to be looking for some articles on how they're going to be incorporating some of this stuff moving forward with some bigger names other than themselves. Next, we have Tilray, ticker sign TLRY, which had a week high of $67 even. If we scroll back out on the chart, we can see they began a bearish pattern. Kind of fell off from this 64.30, I guess 63.85 level. So right here is kind of where they began their fall. Fell all the way down to where they're at 32.16. Had a 9 cent downward movement to $32.07. And they are bearish. Moving average 10 is below moving average 50. So even though it's not below the moving average 100, I'd still say it's bearish. So both of my indicators are, I consider a stock bearish if the moving average 10 goes below either the 50 or the 100 or both. So if the moving average 10 crosses any of those thresholds, I say it's bearish. Now it can go and bounce off of this moving average 100 line, which is this purple line, and turn around and go back up past this 50. But once that happens, I'll say, okay, it's beginning a bullish pattern. But until then, I'll still say it's bearish. VWAP is above moving average 10, so the second indicator is positive. But if we see the way VWAP is performing, it's going down the same way moving average 10 is going down. So I would say it's still bearish as well. Next, we have ticker sign POAI for predictive oncology. They did have a $2.15 week high. Moving average 10 is above 15,100, so positive on that metric. $1.85 is where they ended, then went 5 cents down after hours, ended at $1.80. Moving average 10 is above 50 and 100. VWAP is above moving average 10, so both indicators are positive. Hopefully this one can turn back around for tomorrow. But this VWAP seems to be very stagnant. So if we see there's no real fluctuation in VWAP, it's just continued to go sideways, which to me indicates that there's not really much volume or interest in the stock at the current moment. Now, once that changes and this shoots back up, then we can see the moving average 10 potentially shoot back up. But until then, I think this one is kind of dull at the moment. Next, we have ticker sign GNPX. We see that they are bearish. Moving average 10 is below 50. They did have a week high of $7.72, so that's the level they would have to test as their new high, as their week high. Another level right here is $7.58, but I think this $7.72 is a more realistic level. Now you can use that as a range, so you can basically say 772. Once they cross the 758 threshold, you may say, okay, that's an indicator for me to jump in, because then they're going to have to test this 772. But whatever you prefer on that one. Moving average 10 is below 50, so it is bearish, but VWAP is above moving average 10. So maybe they have some more forward momentum coming from them in the near future. They did end 1 cent above close to end at 6.99, so it's not really too drastic of a move upward, but it still is a move upward. Next, we have ticker sign PTN. We can see that they had a week high of $1.30, ended the day at $1.17, and then after hours went up 1 cent to end at $1.18. So the same as the other one, only a 1 cent movement. Both indicators positive though. Moving average 10 above 50-100, VWAP above moving average 10. So we can see that right here with these lines. This one has kind of been oscillating back and forth, having a range from this 111 level to around this 129 level. So that seems to be the oscillatory range between the two. So I would say from this peak to this peak, it's been kind of going sideways in between that. If it does have a shift in VWAP, meaning if more people buy, if volume starts to increase, then we'll have to test this 130 level. But you could use this peak of 128 as I guess, a kind of end cap. So for me, the range that I would have to set up a bullish uptrend would be this level right here, 120 to 128. So I would say if it crosses this 120 threshold, um, tomorrow it's already ended at 118, but if it gets to 120, I could say, okay, it potentially may have a bullish pattern beginning because it has crossed this threshold. Then next level, I would say, okay, it's going to go to 129. Then if it crosses that, it's basically at 130, which is its next highest level. So those are things I look at when trading these different level metrics to see if it crosses certain thresholds, if that pattern has began. Next, we have ticker sign TRXC. Had a week high of $6.95. Moving average 10 is above 50 and 100, and VWAP is above moving average 10. I've kind of stagnated on this one. We could see, if VWAP starts to go up, that's the price goes up as well. So that's kind of why I use VWAP. So going to be looking for some more volume from this one as time goes on. But overall bullish on both indicators. They did have a 15-cent rally after hours, which is a positive metric in my book, to end at $5.94. So 15 cents above its $5.79 close. So going to be looking at this one for tomorrow. So hopefully it'll have some more momentum going forward since it ended on a positive note. Next, we have ticker sign IMPX. So for tomorrow's watch list, I don't really have any options. For tomorrow, I just have like penny stocks. So just bear that in mind when I post a watch list. I'm not really gonna have any options. Gonna be saving those for next week for earnings week, because you can benefit the most from earnings on those watch lists. So definitely going to be looking for those for next week. But just bear that in mind. The next watch list going for Friday is going to be just having penny stocks on it. So that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be doing options in the future. That just means that just for tomorrow, there are not really any option plays that I can think of. But I know there are going to be some for next week for earnings and stuff going on, and the earnings usually around Tuesday, Wednesday. So it really wouldn't benefit you to jump in on them on Friday anyway. So If you look at this one, moving average 10 is above 5100. VWAP is stagnant on this one, but it still is above, or is it below? It's below moving average 10. So positive on one indicator and negative on the other. It did have a week high of 289, closed at 232, and then closed 16 cents after to end at 216. Going to be looking to see how this performs for the rest of the week. So basically for tomorrow, if this VWAP can shoot back up above this moving average 10, then I would say, okay, yeah, it's going to be positive, but not really looking for too much on this one because we can see that they did close 16 cents below the actual closing price. So next one here we have ticker sign PAVM, which has a week high at 359. Moving average 10 is above 50-100, and VWAP is below moving average 10, so maybe some more sideways momentum from them. Those two, or all these ones that I'm talking about, have news. Okay, sorry, I blanked out. Have news around them. So that's why I have them on here because they have catalysts based on the news around them. So don't think that I just have these on here for random reasons. They do have like press releases that have came out to talk about some of the things going on with these companies. But anyway, moving average 10 is above 50-100. VWAP is below moving average 10, so positive on one indicator, negative on the other. Did it close 3 cents below their closing price to end at 318. So not too far of a movement downward, but still movement downward. They will have to test this 359 level, but going to be looking for a range between this 341 level to this 305 level. So between here, I would say that's a range, a realistic range to look at. Definitely going to see if it can bounce off of this 303 downward level right here to go back up, and then cross this 339 metric to then test 359. Next, we have ticker sign EVFM, which ended at $4 even today. So moving average 10 is above 50-100. VWAP is below moving average 10, but hopefully that will cross in the morning. They did end 9 cents above its close to end at $4.09, so a 2.25% increase. 412 is the week high, so not too far away from that. Definitely believe that it could potentially test that since it ended on such a positive note today. So definitely be looking at this one as time goes on, or for tomorrow to see if it will test this $4.12 level. Lastly, on here we have ticker sign WKEY, which touched $9.48 today. It closed at $8.88, and then after hours went up 22 cents or 2.48% to end at $9.10. So its moving average 10 is above 5100, and VWAP is above moving average 10. I really like the way this chart is set up. If we can see VWAP is starting to go up, moving average 10 is starting to go up, and the moving average 50 and 100 are way down below and not curling up. So going to be looking at this one for tomorrow as well. Definitely going to be looking to see how it performs since it had a 22-cent increase after hours. So that's the list. Or the recap of the watch list. Hope everybody's able to lock in some profits. Just hit that thumbs up if you are, or if you're not afraid. I mean, not afraid, but if you're not, ashamed of your trades, put them on there to let people know what different trades are going on. I know for me, there are a couple of them that kind of went sideways. I'm still waiting on Disney that I had on the watch list. I know they had their earnings today, but I was pretty much down on Disney for the most of today. Disney fluctuated quite a bit, so I still had them from a previous watch list that I talked about, but their earnings was today. It was good, but you know, for me, just given personal experience, to tell you all about my trading, it was kind of rough on some points of it, but gotta stay positive overall. Um, and the markets are going to be continuing to fluctuate, um, and I think we may have a correction coming up pretty soon. So I think a correction may be on the horizon, a very large correction, just for the fact that a lot of these companies are priced extremely high, or you can hear people say, "Oh, the bubble's about to pop," but I think there's a lot of evaluations that are just extremely crazy, like Amazon's. In my opinion, once you have the FANG stocks start to go down, then I think the rest of the market starts to go down. So you already got Amazon that's starting to go down. Facebook is like it's a little iffy. Apple has been kind of stagnant. With them in the talks of their car, or going with Hyundai, not going with Hyundai. Different talks with them, and then overall vaccine rollout being garbage. The vaccine rollout was like, I don't know. It's like some people got it, some people didn't get it. There was supposed to be a larger number of them than there are, but you can see some people have gotten it priority over other people. But I don't know. The whole thing is confusing. I've seen some people have gotten it who are like not in the age group, which I thought the age group was like older people, but I've seen some younger people who've gotten it, and then I've heard other stories of people who are like, I can't find it. I want to get it. I can't find it. I have to get in the waiting list and it's full. So I don't really know what's going on with that, but I think that will definitely affect the market as well. You also have, this stagnation on stimulus, which, happened last time, and you know, will definitely affect the economy as well. And then also, it's a new world of trading. So, trading in general, I think kind of opened people's eyes once the whole GameStop and Wall Street bets thing happened. People kind of opened their eyes to like, oh, people trade stocks. You know, maybe I should trade stocks. Let me open up a brokerage. So, before there was like kind of a barrier for entry where people couldn't jump in and start just throwing money into stocks, but now people can, which some people have no idea what they're doing. I was one of those people for a while. I had no idea what I was doing. Still, do not know some of the times what I am doing. So by all means, do not think that I'm like a perfect trader. I do have losses. I have quite a bit of losses. I do have quite a bit of gains as well, so that's all part of trading. So don't be, feel bad if like, you have some losses when you're trading, because that happens to everybody. It happens to me too. If you go on YouTube and hear those people who are like, I turned $5 into $5 million, most likely that was just on course sale. So that was not like just them trading stocks. It was just them getting money from courses, or people just buy all their courses. Um, yeah, let me get some game stops. Yeah, I had people at work like asking me, hey, how do I get involved in some game stops? How do I purchase some game stops? So, when people asking me how to buy stocks, then I knew like, people really are trying to get into this investing thing. So, there are good channels out there on YouTube. There are a lot of good information out there. I learned how to trade options by watching YouTube videos. So, I mean, if you want to learn how to do something involving investing, majority of the stuff is out there. So I'm just saying, just find the video and then do the stuff that the video is telling you, and just try it out for yourself. And that's basically the way that I learned basically most of the investing stuff that I'm doing. So good luck to everybody out there trading. I know you guys can do it. You can lock in some profits. Whether you're telling me your profits or you're not telling me your profits, I mean, either way, I wish you all the best. I hope everybody's having a great week. I hope these videos are helping you all. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'll try to figure out an answer to it. If I can't figure out an answer to it, like if it gives me a little while to, um, you know, figure out the answer to it, I'm still working on it, but I will, try to figure out the answer to the questions that people have. And then also, I do have a Discord. I posted it in the post quite a while ago, but only a couple people joined it. You don't have to join it, but I think somebody was asking me like, how do you join it? I sent the link over, but if you have any questions about the Discord or you want to join it, on Patreon itself, it doesn't really link it. It has a link, but I think it's broken and it won't let me change it. So if you have any questions, I'll just send you a copy of the link and you can join the Patreon. Sometimes I post my trades on there, like when I'm buying something or hey, look at this stock. I definitely did for Ocugen when it was going up. So hopefully some people were able to execute on that, but definitely make sure you go join that because I try to post some stuff on there as well that can help you out, or at least stuff that I see is going on in the market. Well, anyway, hope everybody has a great week. See you guys next time. Peace.